Over the past few weeks, we've been talking about how to notice God at work, not just in big, obvious ways, but in everyday life, in other people, or even in yourself. The truth is, you can actually see God moving all around you if you're paying attention. I remember back in high school, one of my teachers gave me a tip. If you really want to remember something, you have to train yourself to slow down and actually look for it. Whether it's studying for a test or figuring out why I was in a bad mood, paying attention made all the difference. That advice stuck with me, and it's helped me notice things I would have missed otherwise, including what God was doing in my life. The thing is, slowing down and paying attention, it's not that easy these days. Our lives are so busy. You've got classes, sports, homework, friends, family stuff, and don't forget the constant scroll of social media. It's like there's always something fighting for your focus. But if you're paying attention, it's hard. What if it's not just about being hard, but it's about noticing why it's important? What if it's actually important? We all know our attention matters. Companies spend millions trying to grab it, but have you ever really thought about where most of your attention goes in a day? Think about it. Where has most of your attention gone this week? Is it with school, with TikTok, relationships, stress, a dream that you are chasing for your future? It's totally normal to feel pulled in a million different directions. There are so many distractions and pressures in life, but here's the big question. In the middle of all that noise, how do we become the kind of people who give more attention to what really matters and to what God might be doing? To help us think about this, we're going to look at something written by one of Jesus's closest friends, and this guy's name is Peter. He wrote a letter to the early Christians who were having a really rough time. They were being excluded and even treated badly just for following Jesus. In the middle of all of that, here's what Peter told them. Discipline yourselves. Stay alert. Like a roaring lion, your adversary, the devil, prowls around looking for someone to devour. Peter's point? If you're not paying attention, it's easy to get distracted or even pulled away from what matters most. And the same is true for us. Our distractions may not be life-threatening like theirs were, but they can still pull us away from the life that God is calling us to live. That's why Peter uses the word discipline. It takes effort and practice to focus on the right things. That might mean setting aside some time to pray or read scripture, to reflect, or simply check in with how your heart and mind are doing. It's not that everything you give your attention to is bad, because that's not true. Our friends are good influences on us, and they aren't distractions. But if those things are pulling you away from God all the time, it's worth thinking about how to refocus. Pay attention to what has your attention. Because once you realize what's stealing your focus, you can start making changes. You can start noticing where God is already working and where he might be inviting you to join him in that work. So what can you actually do? Well, here's a simple challenge from me to you. Track your attention for 1 week. Each day, ask yourself, what did I spend most of my time thinking about? Did I make any space to notice God today? Where do I want my attention to go tomorrow? At the end of the week, take a few minutes to reflect where your attention was going and where do you want it to go. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to grow in awareness, to be more intentional, and to start giving God more room to speak and move in your life. Have a beautiful week, everybody.